Hi, this is Leon D'Souza, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to select a property. It could be an apartment, a villa, or a piece of land. So you could be looking at a property either for you to live in or to rent out, or as to earn rental incomes, or for an investment purpose. So based on these criteria, I wanted to tell you or share with you how you should go about selecting and shortlisting property. When I'm talking about property, I mainly am talking about residential real estate. So what I would do first is, when you are shortlisting or selecting a residential property, the first thing you have to consider is, are you looking at it from an investment point of view, or are you looking at it to live in with your family? And you can also consider, the other thing is are you looking at it from a rental point of view to earn rental incomes? So if you are looking at it from an investment point of view, you have to look at what is firstly look at your budget. So that is the first thing. The main priority is to look at your total budget, and then look at the whether it's for investment or to live in or to earn rental incomes. So in one of my earlier videos, I was also talking about that land is the best option in real estate for investment, and of course for rental incomes, apartments or villas or independent houses are the next best option for rental income. And for you to live in, of course, you can look at apartments, you can look at independent houses, you can look at villas, depending on your criteria. So the first thing for you to do is, first you decide on your budget. So you go about this by deciding what are your savings, or what is the total budget you have, and also how much are you eligible for a home loan, if you are going for a home loan, and the period of the tenure of the home loan that you are able to repay. So the next thing to do is look at it from an investment point of view, or to live in, or to offer rental incomes. Now, when you're looking at it from an investment point of view, you have to consider the thing is it how long are you going to invest in property for? Is it for a 5-year period? Is it for a 10-year period? Is it for a 15-year period or 20 years period? And also you have to look at capital gains, that if you sell this property over the next 10 or 15 years, how are you going to reinvest that money in real estate to save on tax from your capital gains, or are you going to invest in real estate funds to save on capital gains? So this is what you need to consider for in terms of investment. The next thing I would like to talk about is you have to consider the location. So the location depends on, it could be for investment purpose, it could be upcoming locations in terms of where there's going to be good infrastructure. Again, you have to consider your budget. If you have a higher budget, then you can look at locations where the infrastructure is already developed, or if you have a lower budget, then you can look at areas where you should do your research and find out where there is a good highway, or where there is a satellite town ring road, or where developments are happening, like where the government is planning SEZs or IT parks, and where employment will be created, because where employment is going to be created is where there will be demand for housing and real estate. So after your budget, you look at the location. In real estate, they say location, location, location. But also in terms of the location, it depends on so many things. You may want a house, which is close to your relatives. So for you, it may not be, or where it is close to your workplace. If you are not from that particular city, you may, if you're not born and brought up in a particular city, you may have relatives in and around where you want to live close to them. But if you're not from that city, if you've come from another city because of work, you may want to purchase a house or an apartment which is close to your which is close to your place of work. So these are the other things also to consider in terms of location. But that is if you're looking to live in. And for investment point of view, as I mentioned, location depends on the infrastructure and other such things like where IT parks, SEZs, and all these things are coming up. So this is in terms of location. So firstly, it's your budget. Then you decide whether it is for a purpose of investment, or whether it is for you to live in, or whether it is for rental incomes. Then you decide whether it is whether it is the location. So these are the things to consider when you're shortlisting and selecting a property. The next thing that you will need to consider is the developer. So this also is related to your budget. So you have like A grade developers, you have B grade developers, you have C grade developers. So like A grade developers normally charge around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees more per square foot as compared to B grade or C grade developers. A lot of people think that, okay, why is the A grade developer charging so much per square foot? Is it just because of their marketing, their marketing spend, and they're spending heavily on marketing? But actually, if you look at it, A grade developers, it is because of a brand. If you're buying a Mercedes Benz as compared to a Suzuki or a Toyota or a Hyundai, so what are you getting for that 2,000 or 3,000 rupees extra per square foot that you're paying for? So if you look at A grade developers, they have built that brand over a period of 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, because of the quality that they are providing, because of the specifications that they are providing, because of the clear titles of property that they are providing, because of the open space in the development, because of the amenities that they are providing, like clubhouse, swimming pool, children's play area, tennis court, badminton court, shopping, grocery stores, ATM facilities. All these things are provided within your community. So it takes a lot more for them to develop all this than just the apartment that they are building for you. And also you have to look at the specifications. For example, when you enter the property, what is the walkway, what is the atmosphere, what are the kind of plants they have planted in the project, what is the environment, what is the ambience. So all these things also increase the price per square foot. That is why these developers have built a brand for themselves because of the overall ambience, the environment, the atmosphere. When you enter the project, how you feel and would you like to live there. Also, what you need to consider is the view from the apartment or the house or the villa that you are purchasing. Because some people prefer higher floor apartments, that also you have to see the view from the apartment, whether you like a very nice view, and what are the developments in future that are going to come up. Is there another tall building which is going to come up in front of your balcony? So you may not like your the view blocked. So when you're speaking to the salesperson, you should check on all these. What is the space between your apartment and the next building coming up? Is there any in the outside of the community? Is there any garbage or sewage canal passing by where you may get bad odor, or where you may get the environment is polluted? So these are also things that you need to consider in selecting the location and in considering the developer and which project you want to go for, in terms of the developer as well as the location. And as I talked about the view, and from a villa or a house, you may not you may go for a villa or a house because of the land parcel that you're getting, but in terms of an apartment, you will get an undivided share in land. So in terms of appreciation, a villa will appreciate much more, because real estate, of course, at the end of the day is an asset, and assets depreciate. So the building will depreciate, but it is only the land value which will appreciate. So if you see apartments, they tend to the undivided share of land will be very small, whereas in villas, the land area that you like, if you're buying a villa for around 1200 square feet, or a independent house for around 1200 square feet, or 2000 square feet, which is ground plus one floor, the land area may be 1500 square feet what you're getting. But in an apartment, you may get, for a 1200 square feet apartment or 1500 square feet apartment, depending on the number of apartments and the size of the project. Like if there are 1500 or 1700 apartments, you may only get an undivided share of around 300 square feet or something like that. So that also you need to consider in terms of the appreciation, what money you are investing in future. But what I would like to say is, if you are looking for an apartment purely to live in and not from an investment point of view, then the location becomes a primary factor as compared to from looking at it from an investment point of view. Because in the long run, because of land prices, land always goes up. The price of land always goes up. So irrespective of where you buy real estate, if you're looking to live in it, the criteria may be not from an investment point of view, but from the point of view of living in it. So end of the day, after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, definitely land prices go up, and there will be appreciation from in terms of your real estate property that you have purchased or invested in. So these are the things that you need to consider. And the other thing that I would like to talk about, if you do not have much knowledge about developers, you can always search on Google when you are shortlisting a particular project, and look at the Google reviews. What do people have to say about that particular property? But here again, you have to be careful about Google reviews, because a lot of reviews are fake reviews. So when you're looking at Google reviews, you have to look at the person who has made the review. You can see how many reviews has that person made. If you just click on that person's name, you can see if that person has made only one review about that particular property, and he's praising that, or he or she is praising that property very highly, then it could be just a marketing or a sales person making those reviews. But if that person has made 100 reviews on different things, talking about food, talking about traveling, talking about different aspects in life, then that is a genuine review. So these are the ways to go about. Even you can find out on Google reviews regarding the legalities of the property, people who have already bought. uh, you know Google reviews are very helpful in selecting and shortlisting a property, but you have to go slowly about this when you're looking at Google reviews, and slowly look at the research in terms of the review that has been posted by a particular person. So this is also very helpful. uh, you know and once you do all these things, select your budget, whether then you select whether it is from an investment point of view, or whether you want to live in it, or whether you want to go for rental incomes. Then once you select the location, then you should actually go and then you check the Google reviews. So you will have a lot of questions that you can ask the sales representative, about particular facts that you have reviewed upon. So this is how I think you should go about in selecting and shortlisting a property. And you should actually go to the location, find out what are in and around. There may not be, if you do not have the budget for an A grade builder or developer, you can even look for other builders and developers who are B grade or C grade. Even they do very good quality of construction and offer good specifications. But the number of apartments, it may be a small property, it may not be a big property with 80% open space. They may not have so many amenities as compared, they may just have a gym or a small children's play area. But the again, it depends on the location of the property. And do you only want to spend, you don't want to spend 2,000 3,000 rupees more per square foot, just because of the brand name and because of the amenities which you may never use. You may never use a tennis court, or you may never use a swimming pool, or you may never use a badminton court, but your children may use the children's play area. Or you may never use a gym, you may prefer to go to a park to walk. Let's say if you're purchasing an apartment which is close to Lal Bagh in Bangalore, you may prefer to go to Lal Bagh rather than using in a closed environment using the gym. So it depends on what your priorities are on when you are investing in a property. The other thing to also look at when you go and meet the sales representative is look at the floor plan. Is to look, is it as per vastu? Is vastu is important to you? What are the floor layout plan? You have to consider the furniture layout, whether you have good light, whether you have good ventilation. Like earlier I spoke about, even about the view from your apartment or house. Whether you have a nice view. Most people definitely would like a good view from their apartment. you know so these are the things you can consider in terms of shortlisting an apartment. And normally, the higher the floor you go, the rate per square feet may increase 25 rupees per floor, or sometimes even 50 rupees per floor. Or if you are looking at your apartment which is overlooking a swimming pool or a very nice view, or overlooking a garden view, these also increase the rate of your apartment per square foot. Even in terms of villas or an independent house, if it is a corner plot, or if it is a corner villa, or a villa which is close to the swimming pool, or which is at a cul-de-sac, that is at a dead end, normally the price per square foot would be 10 to 15 rupees more per square foot. So let's say if it is 15,000 rupees per square foot, you will be paying almost 16,500 rupees per square foot. So this also would increase uh, the cost of the villa or the independent house that you're buying, or the apartment that you're buying. If you want to go, let's say, for 20 floors, if the building is 20 floors, and if you prefer something on the 15th floor, then definitely it will be 15 into 25 or 15 into 50 rupees per square foot more. So if you want a very nice view, or if you want a lot of sunlight and fresh air, you know, but some people who are fearful of heights may not like a higher floor apartment. They may just prefer something on the second floor if you have old parents living with you. But nowadays, of course, all the apartments have lifts and elevators and things like that. But some people prefer a lower floor if you have elderly parents living with you, and if it is a small project of just 10 apartments or boutique apartments, which is just ground plus 3 4 floors, you may not have a lift, so you'll have to consider that as well. So I've spoken about how you select a developer, and you have to do, once you shortlist a project, you have to ask for the property titles, the property documents from the developer. So get the legal verification done, do your research through Google research on the property. What do other people have to say? What is their experience in terms of the quotations that they have received from the salesperson or the marketing person? These are all the things that you should look at when you are making an purchase of property. Check the legalities of the property, and see what other people, what is their experience, what their lawyers or what they have to say about the title of the property. And other thing is, you also have to look at is whether you want to go for a ready to move in property, which is already ready, which you can go see, feel, touch and experience, or whether you would like to go for a under construction or a newly launched property. Normally newly launched properties, the rates would be much lower per square foot as compared to a ready to occupy property. So there could be a difference of around 1,500 2,000 rupees, or less, plus or minus, around that, per square foot. But of course, a ready to occupy property, you can actually go see, feel and experience the size of the rooms and the environment, the ambience and everything. But there are a lot of benefits. You can immediately move in, you can do your interiors immediately, you can check your who are the neighbors who are living there, what is the kind of community, all these things. Whereas an under construction property, you have to consider, or a newly launched property, you have to consider the economic scenario. Like we had COVID, what if the project gets stalled for 1 or 2 years? You have to pay your EMI, you have to pay your pre-EMI, so you have to pay your rent also where you're staying in. So will the project be, if they're planning to deliver within 2 to 3 years, will the project be delayed by 5 years? So under construction properties, definitely the rate will be lower, but there are a lot of advantages. You can select newly launched properties, the rate will be lower, but you can select the flow, you can select the facing of the apartment, the facing of the balcony, whether it is north facing, east facing, because of the light and ventilation. As I mentioned, as per Vastu, I have also created a video about Vastu, so I'll put a link over here, in terms of when you're looking at the floor plan, where should be the master bedroom, where should be the puja room, the entrance, the kitchen and the guest bedroom and all these things. So you can have a look at that also. when you're going to meet the salesperson, you can understand if it is as per Vastu. And when you're doing the painting of your house, what are the colors to consider. If you're a person who believes in Vastu, you can have a look at the video, which link I will put in this video as well. So these are the things that I would like to share with you to help you shortlist and select a property when you are making a real estate, when you are making an investment or a purchase in real estate. Of course, when it comes to land, there may today may where you're investing in land, you, as I mentioned, you have to look at what are the developments, what are the I have also done a video when it comes to Bangalore, where you should invest. Right now, North Bangalore is the hottest area to invest in terms of land. I will also put a link in this video if you're interested from an investment point of view in terms of land. So this is what I wanted to, mainly I'm talking about apartments and villas and independent houses. When you are in this video, when you are shortlisting or selecting a property for you and your family. Also, the other thing what I would like to talk about is in terms of the location. You have Google Maps, so you can easily check the distances on Google Maps from where the property location is to where you want to go to, if it is your office space. And nowadays kilometers is not does not make such a big difference. It is more the time and the amount of time you spend traveling that makes a difference. For example, in Bangalore, if you're living in Indiranagar, to reach MG Road, it can take you 1 hour, if there's a traffic jam or traffic pile up. Or from Whitefield to MG Road, it could take you 1 hour 15 minutes. People who live and work in Bangalore in IT sector or in areas like Whitefield and who live in the central part of Bangalore will acknowledge that. The same 1 hour, you can probably buy an apartment somewhere in a new location, like let's say near the international airport in Bangalore. Whereas in let's say in Indiranagar or Whitefield, the rates per square foot may be 15,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees per square foot in Indiranagar, or 25,000 rupees per square foot. Whereas in a place like Devanahalli, the rates per square feet may be only around 10,000 rupees per square foot. I am talking about a very good A developer with very good amenities and specifications, quality of construction and facilities that they provide. So, but the time it takes to come from that place, let's say to the central part of Bangalore, will take you the same 1.5 hours. As compared to traveling a distance of 7 to 8 kilometers, because you have a national highway, you have signal free flyovers. So this is also a very important thing to consider when selecting a property in terms of the location. What is the infrastructure and what is the time it will take you to travel from the place that you are purchasing to your office or to a place that you frequently visit, or if staying close to family is important to you. So it does not have to be necessarily the kilometers only that you should consider in terms of distance. And also, of course, you can look at what are the schools around, what are the hospitals around, what are the in terms of entertainment, what are the facilities available. So as I said, if you're going for a A-grade developer, they may even have a small home theater within the premises, or the location may be very good where you may have a huge shopping mall. So this all depends on what are your priorities other than the budget, and in terms of the location, in terms of whether it is from investment, rental earnings, or whether it is for you to actually live in it, and the property titles. So these are the 4 5 important things that you need to consider when selecting and shortlisting a property. And what is the time it will take you to travel in terms of the location, the infrastructure. So I'm just giving you broad things for you to consider and make it easy for you to shortlist and select a property for you and your family. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I will leave some links in this video as I mentioned earlier in terms of rates of apartments in and around central Bangalore, in and around outer Bangalore, which is a good place to invest in real estate. If you're looking at investment from a long time point of view, which I mentioned earlier, and when you are looking at the floor plan, would you like to consider Vastu if it is important to you? I will leave some links in over here. So you should do all these things as your homework, as your research, and read the Google reviews before you go and go to a property and meet the marketing and sales person. So you will have a lot of questions based on your research to help you make the right decision and save you a lot of time. Then just looking at, because the salesperson definitely he is doing his job and he would like to make a sale. But if you ask the right questions to the salesperson based on your research, you will save a lot of time, and it will help you from preventing you from making a wrong decision because it's a once in a lifetime decision, and your hard-earned money, and where you will pay, if you're taking a home loan and paying rent also for the next 2 to 3 years, you will be investing a lot of money in purchasing a property. So these are the things for you to consider when selecting and shortlisting real estate for yourself and your family. So thank you so much for watching my video, and hope this information that I shared with you was good and informative. So wishing you all the best in selecting the right property and purchasing the right property for yourself and your family. Thank you.